Things girls say when they like you. If you're new here and are sick of being single, I would highly advise clicking follow. Number 1, slightly controversial, but when she says, I hate you so much. She doesn't hate you, she hates how much she likes you. Number 2, I'd like to think is fairly obvious, but here we are. If you've been talking about yourself and she responds with, how are you single? She clearly thinks you're a catch and is likely plotting in her head how she can bring this single streak to an end. Number 3, you ask her to do a simple task, like, oh, could you just pass me a pen please? And she claps back with, make me. Mentally, at some point, she has definitely pictured you in that one scene from 365 Days. Guarantee it. But if she responds with, go ask one of your other girls, she might be pissed off, she might be jealous, and she might be digging for your reaction to see if other girls are involved, but she definitely likes you. Things girls do when they like you. If you're new here and you'd like to put an end to being single, I suggest you click follow. Number 1. When a girl really likes you, she's not talking to multiple guys. She's already mentally loyal before she needs to be. We wake up, have iced coffee for breakfast, and try and survive off of the one meal we have a day. And the rest of our time is spent watching or rewatching our favourite series before scrolling on our phone for hours and going to bed way too late. So see, there really is no time to be entertaining multiple men. Number 2. A lot of us are also really lazy when it comes to shaving. Because there is a cost of living crisis and an everything shower is, well, costly, especially when it's a minimum 30-minute job. So instead, because we're so resourceful and love to compromise, we will pick our outfits based off of how hairy our legs are. Hairy legs? Nice top and jeans it is. And lastly, when a girl likes you, she'll screenshot your messages just so she can reread them at her own leisure, without you seeing that she's online, and to avoid the horror that is you sending her another text message and her reading it instantly because she's on the chat.
Making your home modern and beautiful is easier than you think with 50/50 RGB SMD strip lights. Bright, uniform, ambient lighting for anywhere in your room. Use exactly the length you need thanks to the cuttable design. Waterproof properties and the use of double copper make them durable and long-lasting in all conditions. Change the colors, effects, and brightness of the lights thanks to the wireless remote or the app on your phone. Change the look of your home. Order now.
This is how to get a guy to miss you. If you're new here and you want to find out all the tea like this, then I suggest you click follow. Now, I've said it before and I will say it again. You need to get yourself a signature scent. One that you wear religiously, so that over time he can associate that smell with you. And whenever he smells it and you're not there, he's gonna have a That's So Raven moment, but the complete opposite, where he remembers all of the memories you two had together. Number 2, if this guy is still present in your life, trust me, become besties with his mum. When she knows that you exist, she will repeatedly ask him about you. If you two become that close, she might just also want the signature scent that you own, and that is going to mean that you are constantly on his mind. And number 3, stay busy, but keep it low key. We're not posting on our Instagram stories every little thing that we're doing in the day. Because if you communicate and let him know you're busy and then don't post, his curiosity is going to be piqued. So when you do get the inevitable "what you up to" message, that will be why. This is what his Snapchats really mean. If you're new here and want to find out if he likes you or not, it's in your best interest to click follow. Let's get into it. Number 1. If he sends you a full face snap, today confidence is his best friend. So compliment him, because 1, they don't hear it often enough, and 2, he probably likes you. Number 2, if it's a picture of the wall or just the top of his head, I hate to break it to you, but he would much rather talk to a wall than to you. Or he's gaming and doesn't care enough about the conversation. So instead of ghosting you, he sends this to be polite in the hopes that you naturally end the conversation. Number 3, if he sends you the half face snap, it's likely because it's his better side, where his jawline looks sharper. And number 4, if he sends you a video on Snapchat and he's talking in the video, he really likes you. So if you don't yet have his number, I suggest you find a way to get it so you can just cut the shit and get to the part where you FaceTime. And if you do have his number, girl, FaceTime him. Guys love that shit. This is how to know if she's flirting or just being friendly. If you need more tips like this, the follow button is literally right there. Okay, first things first, it's no secret that us girls do give out mixed signals. But how does she act around other people? Because she could just have a bubbly personality. And if she's the same around other people as she is with you, she's probably just being friendly. Number 2, if you only ever hang out in group settings and there's never one-on-one time, probably just being friendly. Now listen up, because number 3 is important. You text her and she replies, but she never or rarely starts the conversation first. You just don't have her interest like that. And she's likely just being nice. And if you're still not sure, how often do they compliment your appearance or talk about relationships? Because if she does, that's her throwing out the bait for you to bite. And in this case, she is in fact flirting with you. This is how to make people like you. And for the first time ever, I can actually reveal that I've learnt all of this from Rise and Fall on Channel 4. So if you haven't yet watched it, that's this week's homework. Let's get into it. Number 1, in order to make someone like you, you need to gain their trust and respect. How do you do that, you ask? By doing exactly what you say you're going to do. One thing so many men have great difficulty with. You need to be a bit of a grafter. Have a decent understanding of what hard work is. That way you're relatable, empathetic and humble. Just look at how that worked out for homegirl Marina. Number 2, if you want to be liked, you need to be a shoulder people can lean on. One really easy psychological trick to do this is by simply letting people talk about themselves. Come on, secretly we're all a little bit self-obsessed. Just a tad. Immediately this makes you look like a great listener and an empath. Being approachable breaks down people's walls and builds up trust. Just like the mum and dad of RNF did oh so well. Matt and Cheryl, I'm looking at you babes. Number 3, the Joker card. Why did everyone like the class clown in school? Don't worry, this isn't an awful dad joke. Now I don't know about you, but for me it made going to school a slightly less awful experience. People that can laugh at themselves are the true winners, because then no one can laugh at you. Only with you. And it just so happens to make you super approachable, relatable, and likeable. Which is apparently exactly what you need to do in order to form alliances. Jack. And last but not least, number 4. One thing I'm sure we can all relate to in Rise and Fall is the numerous amounts of emotional breakdowns.
I'm alone a little bit.
Well, at least I know I can. Showing your emotions, yes, men, I'm looking at you, is a good thing. Because it shows people there's a deeper side to you. And when you confide in someone, it lets them know you trust them, makes them feel special, and builds a bond between you two. How else do you think Matt was going to be able to save his spot at the top? Can we get some eye drops? Now, if you haven't watched Rise and Fall yet, I can imagine the FOMO is kicking in right about now. So if you want any of this to moderately make sense, I suggest you go stream it on all 4. This is what not to do when you have a crush on someone, unless you want to ruin all chances of being with them. If you're new here and your love life needs all the help it can get, I suggest you click follow. Number 1, I know having a crush is exciting, and it's hard to keep it to yourself, you want to let your friends know. But if you haven't even initiated contact with them, and they barely know of your existence, avoid doing this at all costs. Because now all of your friends are invested and want updates. And that's just going to pressure you to advance things before maybe you're ready. Just for the plot and to shut them up. And God forbid you come into contact with them with your friends. Because you'll probably end up dying of embarrassment. Number 2, backpedal. Backpedal. If you ask them to hang out, do not backpedal. And by that I mean the if you want to and if not, that's totally okay. No, you need to come across as confident. And doing that just makes you seem not sure of yourself. And number 3, a lot of you are going to be upset at this one, but refrain yourself from stalking their social media. Because you're going to get yourself to a point where you feel like you know everything about them. And you're going to end up liking the version of them in your head that you've created, not the actual person. And you also run the risk of accidentally bringing up information about them in conversation. So don't do that, unless you want them to think of you as a creepy stalker.